Alright guys, welcome back to another operaomnia video where the beginning of the powerhouse of characters is gonna begin, starting off with Tifa with her upcoming rework and her LD weapon, alongside with the next boss rush to be dropping on Global. We're gonna be talking about her rework and her LD ability and what she is going to be bringing to the global side of operaomnia. So as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future operaomnia content. And of course, if you guys want to further support the channel, consider becoming a member and enjoying those lovely perks. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about Tifa's upcoming rework and her LD ability. So before I start, I want to give a shout out to 40 the Broadway Saiyan, who hit me up and asked me if I wanted to put that epic intro into this video since he stopped making operaomnia content. And of course, I had to accept. So shout out to 40. Thank you so much for letting me put that beautiful intro in this video. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin by starting off and talking about Tifa's rework. So with her beat rush ability, now whenever you use her beat rush ability, it now turns into a 2-hit melee break plus HP attack that does 3 HP dumps. She got an increase in brave potency by a tremendous amount, and then she recovers brave to herself based on 20% of the total HP damage dealt after each HP attack, excluding her last one. Now, whenever you use the plus version of her beat rush, it now turns into a 2-hit melee break plus HP attack, except it does 6 HP dumps, and it does everything that I mentioned earlier, which was brave potency increase, and it recovers 20% of the total HP damage dealt in brave between the HP attacks, excluding the last HP attack. Now for her skill 2, she actually got an additional uses with her skill 2, now having a max usage of 7. Now when you use Battle Cry, she allows for 120% recovered brave, max brave overflow, and it triggers the following attack after usage, which is a 2-hit melee brave plus HP attack that does 3 HP dumps. She recovers brave to herself based on 10% of her total HP damage dealt in between those HP attacks, except for her last HP attack, and then after her last HP attack, she recovers brave to herself based on 50% of the total HP damage dealt in total, and she has some overflow in that last HP attack. And whenever you use her skill 2, she actually moves up in the turn count, and then she basically, it's pretty much her turn right after you use her skill 2. Now we get to the creme de la creme. I don't know why I decided to do that, but you know what, we're gonna keep it in the video. Of Tifa's kit, which is going to be her LD ability called Meteor Crusher. She recovers brave to herself based on 120% of her attack, and now she does a 3-hit melee brave plus an HP attack with 6 HP dumps. And pretty much what she does is in between those HP dumps, she recovers brave based on 20% of the HP damage dealt, except for on her last HP attack, and she has 150% overflow, and she also grants the full throttle buff to herself for 8 actions. Now, after you use her LD ability, her brave attack turns into brave attack full throttle, and her HP attack turns into HP attack full throttle. And then whenever you use either the brave attack or HP attack full throttle, they revert back into their normal brave attack or HP attack. Now, brave attack full throttle does not do any HP damage. It is just a 6-hit melee brave attack. It extends her own active buffs by 1 action, does not consume ability uses. So after you use a brave attack, Brave Attack Full Throttle, you actually get a free ability use, excluding some abilities, which really the only thing that would exclude would be her LD ability. It nullifies action delay, and it does not count towards the total turn count. I don't know why I said turtle. Excluding summon phase / friend support. Now, whenever the passive Beat Rush Extend is equipped, it turns Beat Rush into the Beat Rush Plus after usage. Now, whenever you use her HP attack Full Throttle, she recovers Brave to herself based off 50% of her own attack, and then she does her 4 hits melee Brave plus HP attack. It has Overflow. It also extends the duration of her own active burst by 1 action. It also gives her a free ability use after you use her HP attack, and then she actually follows up after you use either her Brave Attack Full Throttle or HP Attack Full Throttle, and she does get that free ability use right afterwards. It does not consume the turn count, and unless you are in the summon phase or you are using her as a friend support. And once again, whenever you have the Beat Rush Extend passive equipped, it turns the Beat Rush into Beat Rush Plus after usage. Now, the buff Full Throttle that she grants herself after you use her LD ability, she gets an attack up and a stolen and recovered Brave Max Brave Overflow up, and she also gets a HP damage dealt up, which will help her out whenever she is dealing all of these multiple HP dumps that she is dealing with her LD ability, with her skill 1 and her skill 2. When it comes to her LD board, when you pretty much max out her LD board, she gets a tremendous increase in potency. She gets an increase in Brave damage dealt, another increase in Overflow, and she gets an increase in Brave recovered based on the total HP damage dealt. Originally it was 10%, now it got increased by 30%, so you'll be able to do a whole lot more damage based off of the recovered Brave on top of the amount of Brave hits that you are doing. And then you also have that HP damage dealt up from her LD buff. Now, with her LD call, aside from the normal LD ability that she does, with the special effects for the caller gets a 20% attack up, a 10% HP damage dealt up, and they also get a 10% stolen and recovered Brave Max Brave Overflow limit up effect. Finally, we'll get to her 7-star armor, which will give her an increase in Brave damage cap up and max Brave cap up by 15%. And then if we want to fully realize her 7-star armor into the 8-star armor, then she will get an increase in her Brave damage cap up by 45%, or up to 14,498, and then a 25% increase in her max Brave cap up, up to 124,998. So now we come to the point of the video where, well, I mean, it's kind of obvious for some people, but for some people who are kind of curious and still trying to figure out, should you pull for Tifa's LD or not? Well, Tifa is a straight DPS character at this point. With her LD ability and her kit in general, she is just there to do straight damage. That is what she is meant to do. I mean, the only thing that she does not provide is any type of party ores, but that's about it. I mean, she's just there as a selfish DPS character to provide those high damages that you are wanting to do to finish off the enemy as quickly as possible. Now, how is she longevity wise? Like, how is she going to be until, like, say, her recent crystal level 90 that she just got in JP? Well, I mean, she can be used for pretty good often. I mean, like, aside from, you know, maybe like some events that may hold her back, like say if like some events might hold her back if they are, say, resistant to melee type of attacks. I mean, she will do pretty well. Other things that may hold her back would potentially be like the Lufenia Orb. That's about the only other few things that I can think of. The only other reasons why you would not pull for Tifa's LD is if, say, you are waiting on another character that you are more excited about, that you are wanting to pull more than for Tifa. But if you are maybe satisfied with what you have right now and you don't think that you are wanting to get Tifa or another DPS character into your roster, then you know, Tifa, you could probably wait until her LD gets reran in a future banner, because from my knowledge, her LD weapon has been reran twice, if I'm not mistaken. So, but you know, with her being such a strong, very strong DPS character, and in about 2 months we will get our magic version of Tifa, and with that I mean Vaughn, because Vaughn, when he gets his rework, he is basically like the magic version of Tifa, because like with him, he will be just as busted, or if not just a bit better than Tifa. So you know, if you're wanting a DPS character now, and if you are wanting to you know, put something on top of that and get Vaughn later on, if you miss out on his LD and BT, then you have options, you know, then, or if not later on. So I know a lot of people are going to be pulling for Tifa. I know many people are very hyped for her, and I have been waiting for her ever since this month has begun. So I mean, you know, I know that for a lot of people are 1000% going to be pulling for her, just because when she was first showcased on the JP side, people freaked out because of the numbers that she was doing. So of course people were jumping the gun, like, yes, I'm going to save for her for 8 months until I get her her kid, and then I will be doing big boy numbers, you know, so on and so forth. So I mean, which is true. I mean, like, a lot of people were saying that, which I mean, it's not surprising. So but aside from that, I mean, if you're wanting a strong, very strong DPS character, Tifa is definitely your girl. You know, and especially if you want to make sure that she is optimized to be doing strong damage, you know, just make sure that you give her the attack 108s, you give her attack spheres, you get her high armor, you fully realize it so you can take advantage of all the damage that she is doing, and then you'll be good to go. I mean, if you give us a bit of support, then you'll be just fine. And especially with this upcoming boss rush, I mean, she will destroy this boss rush if you decide to pull for her LD ability. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys are going to be doing. What are your plans going to be for Tifa and her upcoming rework and LD? But other than that, that's going to be it for the video. Once again, thank you to 40 for the epic intro in this video, and of course, if you did enjoy it, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.